Welcome back to another episode of BloonSharkTV, everybody. If this is your first time here, I'd like to take a second to say thank you for tuning in today. And if you could just scroll down below a little bit and click the subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications so you can be notified when we release a new video. So today is going to be my first video in a few weeks. I've been really busy, but we're going to go ahead and get started today. And we are going to be doing a beginner map called Cubism on hard and CHIMPS mode. And this one is a little interesting. It's got some weird shapes. We're going to start off with Easily, and we're going to place her right around here. It's a good centralized location to get the balloons to be able to be hit. Set her on strong, by the way. And so they can get hit a few times as they wrap around this track. As you can see, getting hit a few times, and thankfully, even though it easily costs $6.50, which is exactly the amount you start with on CHIMPS mode, you are able to successfully pop everything for just a few levels. That way you can save up and purchase our first tower, which is going to be a monkey sub. And monkey sub is going to go right in this bottom left corner of this triangle here. That way, eventually, the monkey sub can be in reach of Easily. And this is going to be one of the more crucial towers to be able to get us all the way up to at least level 28. We're going to be upgrading our monkey sub first before we get anything else going on. And the first thing we're going to end up purchasing for the monkey sub is the double guns upgrade. So here shortly, I believe it's $485. So here in just a second, it's twin guns, excuse me. So we got twin guns going, which is really helpful. And then the next upgrade we're going to get is going to be our airburst darts. Airburst darts are extremely helpful too, because instead of just one dart hitting one balloon, it actually splits into three and can kind of on tracks like this one where the track kind of goes in different directions, it's pretty helpful when those darts split up to be able to hit different balloons on different parts of the track. So super cool, super helpful. And usually we can get this one by round 15, because round 15 is going to have our first pink balloons, which really run through quickly on the map. So getting that airburst dart helps kind of knock those down and get them to the slower versions of themselves. Red is one of the slower moving types of balloons. And you'll see here in just a second. Go ahead and purchase that airburst dart. And it might be a little tough to see in fast forward, but it does do what I'm saying that it does, just so you know. The reason why I run these in fast forward is because I do like to try to give you a view of basically from round 6 all the way up to round 100 and see exactly what I do, even though it's on fast forward. We got longer range, and the next one we're going to purchase is advanced intel. So that way the targeting actually bumps up a little bit, because Easily can actually reach them first on the map because of her range. So now whenever they get in range of Easily, the monkey sub will go ahead and start shooting. The next thing we're going to purchase for the monkey sub is going to be the submergence support, and we won't do that until we get an easier round, because when you purchase that, it automatically submerges your sub. So you want to make sure you do that when the round is not going to be very difficult, where you can switch that real quick, and I'll show you. See that one? That's a good round to do it on because there's not much happening. So round 25 is a good one. And then here coming up by round 28, actually you have to do that at the very end of round 27. Once you get that little extra kickback from the round being over, we're going to purchase Plutonium Reactor, and then we're going to change the targeting to submerge because it won't automatically change. There we go. Now we're going to be using Bloontonium to pop the balloons, which is really effective on all balloon types. Ceramics obviously are a little harder to punch through, but with Ezili and what she does can help out. Next tower is going to be a wizard monkey. It's going to set him right there in that corner opposite of where the monkey sub is in the pond. You're going to get intense magic and then monkey sense. And then, so we're going to go middle and bottom tiers on our wizard monkey, and we're going to be maxing out the bottom tier. So you're going to end up with a 0, 2, 5 wizard monkey. Now let's get through these little camos here real quick, and then we will we'll switch over to focusing on upgrading our wizard monkey. I have found this combo. This is what's really interesting, and also kind of weird about Bloons TD6 especially, is some of the 5th tier upgrades for a tower can be pretty cheap. There's Shimmer, by the way, we got that, so it kind of helps remove camo from balloons in the blast radius. Anyways, one of the things about this game is kind of weird, is that some of the towers with cheaper 5th tier upgrades almost are better in a sense than some other ones. So we got Necromancer, Unpopped Army, we have a Fireball, and then Wall of Fire. So it's kind of odd because you can buy something like the something that's pretty expensive. Okay, so for example, the Apache upgrade for the heli pilot. I feel like it does pretty good, but in some cases I feel like the tack zone for the tack shooter, or even the so here's round 40, by the way, guys. Normally I'd have to switch my targeting for the monkey sub, but because we have Necromancer, Unpopped Army, it really just blasted through that Moab with Ezili's help as well. So just so I'm kind of walking you through that as we go along here. So anyways, I feel like there's a couple towers that do have that kind of they're cheap, but they're really effective. It's crazy how it works out. I feel like there's some stuff that's more expensive that doesn't quite cut it. Now there are some that are they're expensive, but they're beneficial to certain types of balloons. So for example, the Druid Monkey, once you get to the 5th tier in the middle, 5th upgrade in the middle tier, excuse me, where it wraps the track and vines, super helpful, especially against ceramics. So that's key against ceramics, not so much against Moabs. So when you buy something like this Wizard Monkey with the Necromancer, Unpopped Army, or with like the Tack Zone, for example, it's pretty good overall. And the Wizard Monkey's Necromancer tier is like surprisingly powerful in itself. The only trick that you need to know about this one, and one of the reasons why I used it on this map, was because even though it does send those out, those unpopped balloons, it actually doesn't send them out all the time, like consistently. So in order for these to get generated, the actual tower itself, so the wizard itself, has to continually be getting pops. So if you place the Necromancer too far back to where everything else is popping all the balloons before they reach the Necromancer, you're not going to have these unpopped balloons racing backwards along the track, pop everything. So it's very key to put it somewhere maybe between areas of the map where you know it's sort of close to the beginning, but also at a point where like after a Moab would typically be popped, so it can start popping the ceramics and regenerating its dead count back up. So here shortly we're gonna purchase the final tier for our wizard monkey, which is insane, Prince of Darkness, and that's gonna really just take us a long way. And you'll notice we're probably not going to upgrade for a while because we won't have to, because our Prince of Darkness is just insane and it kills just about everything. So anyways, I wanted to give you that note on the wizard monkey for the Prince of Darkness or the Necromancer Unpopped Army, because it could be kind of tricky, and I have used it on other maps before. I totally placed it in the wrong spot and then it was basically useless. Even though you'll see the wizard is shooting stuff that comes right up front, which is really good for these earlier rounds, but once it starts becoming like all Moabs that are coming your way, it's tough for it to get pops. So that spot that I placed it in is a pretty neutral spot. Like I said, for anything that comes up before all the other towers can get to it, so any ceramics or below, it can get those popped first, and then it's in a good place to where once the Moabs kind of reach where they get popped down to ceramic level, the wizard can kick in again and start popping those and regenerating his undead bloom count. So just pay attention to that when you're using this monkey, and it'll be super effective for you, and you can almost have a constant flow of those unpopped balloons coming in and just wrecking shop. You can kind of see it doing it right here. Nothing really made it past that first loop or that first corner. So it does really well. It does really well on 63 usually too, if you can get it, like I said, if you can get it placed right and it's the most effective, you can have the same kind of results. So here's your first wave of ceramics, did really well there. Second wave, really well again. Third wave was a little bit bigger than the first two waves, and it was almost destroyed faster than the first two. So this is doing really good. Very, very happy with this setup. And it's, you'll see, as you can see right now, we've only got 3 towers on the map. We got our wizard monkey with Prince of Darkness, who's pretty much doing all the popping for the most part. You see these kicking in, especially with the Moabs that are making it past the wizard, helping get those broken down. And then we have our monkey sub, who's kind of doing some cleanup on that first, 2/3 of the track. Super helpful. So one of the next things we're going to end up purchasing is going to be a glue gunner. And you're probably thinking, like, what the heck, a glue gunner? That doesn't make sense. But you know what? It actually does. It does really good on this map with this setup. So found that one out too. Just kind of messing around. So, and I try to do when I do these videos, if you're new here and you're just watching, I try to do different combinations, because it can get really easy to find something that works well on most tracks and just use it all the time. So that's why I'm kind of slowly incorporating different heroes and different towers that I don't normally use, or combinations I don't normally use. And that's one of the cool things about this game, is that first of all, there's so many ways you can do maxing out, like, different tiers and combinations of 2 of the 3 tiers. And then there's ways to combine, other towers in with it. So, I mean, you can focus on, even though you have access to all types, you can focus on doing, like, all magic monkeys, or you can do all military, or all primary, or the support ones down there in orange at the bottom. But there's all kinds of different ways to do this, and I strive for the kind of different and odd sort of combinations. So I'm doing these last few I've done with Ezili as a hero, so here pretty soon I'm going to change it up. I don't know if I'm going to do one more map with Ezili or not, but I do want to kind of incorporate Ezili to show you mainly how good she is, especially with Moabs, but then also with the BAD at the end if she's leveled up to level 20 by the time you get to round 100. And we did just purchase Energizer for our monkey sub, which will help us level up easily quicker. And here we're going to place a monkey village, kind of right here in this little corner, right above Ezili. And we're going to go with our few upgrades here. We're going to do a grow blocker and radio scanner. And then we'll eventually end up getting the Monkey Knowledge or Monkey Intelligence Bureau upgrade. So that way all of the towers on the map within range of the monkey village can pop all types of balloons. And again, just kind of something I mentioned way earlier, once we got the Prince of Darkness, we have not really done any upgrading to anything really except for that monkey sub. Now, by the way, on the monkey sub that I have noticed, when you buy that Energizer upgrade, it's really honestly for strictly the boost that it tells you in the description. We just bought Monkey Intelligence Bureau and bigger radius as well, by the way. So anyways, on the monkey sub on Energizer, it doesn't, to my knowledge, boost any kind of popping power for itself, or anyone else necessarily. So it's really just for the cooldowns for water-based monkeys, actually I think it's all monkey types. Here we're gonna throw down an alchemist here, and we're gonna throw him down right over here next to our monkey village. Place them right about there, and then we're gonna go larger potions, acidic mixture dip, berserker brew, stronger stimulant, and then the perishing potions, the middle tier. So you're gonna do a 4-2-0 on that. I kind of did that really quickly without saying each level, but just get it to where it's 4-2-0 and you'll be all good. So anyways, the monkey sub, the Energizer, it's cool if you can buy it if you have the money to spare, for one, because it's like almost $35,000, which is a lot of money, especially on CHIMPS mode. So if you know that you can handle what's coming on the track and purchase Energizer, and you've got a hero that you want to boost up by the end of the game, which is around 100, then go for it. If you don't think you can do it, then I wouldn't spend the money on it, because like I said, it doesn't really do much for popping power, but it does help level up your heroes and give other heroes with activated abilities a little bit better cooldown. I think it's like 20% that it gives you as an additional cooldown. Okay, so let's see, we're on 83 right now, and I think this is where we're gonna start with our glue gunner. Just checking in. He's at level 14, which is pretty good. So we're gonna go glue gunner. There's this little triangle. It's hard to see where it's at right now. There you go. Now that it's cleared up, we're gonna put him right around there. Make sure he's in range of both the monkey village and the alchemist. So you're gonna end up going with a 4-2-0 on this glue gunner. And eventually we are going to get him maxed out, and we changed his targeting to strong so he can start working on dissolving Moabs first, and then once those pop down, he'll go after what's strongest if there's no other Moabs on the track. So, And we are pretty close to actually being able to purchase that. I think we're only about 7,000 or 8,000 away from being able to purchase that final tier for our glue gunner, which is the balloon solver, which is very powerful corrosive glue, which I didn't think would actually work on Moabs, but apparently it does, because I normally would use the bottom tier, which has the Moab glue, which slows them down, and then its final tier on our final upgrade on the bottom tier will actually temporarily stop them, which is really cool. But it's one of them, I think it actually is the most expensive route to go for a glue gunner. So I tend to not do that one unless I really, really can't afford it. So, and Ezeli's at level 15 right now. We're on 88. Here on round 90, we're going to have our first DDTs. Those guys are super quick. They're camo. So you want to make sure definitely you have the Monkey Intelligence Bureau by the time you hit round 90. Because I have noticed if you don't have that and you have other towers that either don't detect camo or for some reason can't pop Moabs, then you're going to have some problems. And we did end up getting Balloon Solver right there as well. Alright, so you can see now the glue gunner is really just pounding away at dissolving these smaller balloons, and they're barely making it around that second curve at all, if they are. So in the 90s, by the way, you have rounds 90, 93, 95, and 99 that have DDTs. And 99 has a few fortified DDTs, so kind of hard to pop if you don't have the right things on the map. But I think we're going to be okay with this setup here. So let's see. 93, we're going to have a few more coming through. I think that was 6 or 7. It was really hard to count right there. Just kind of flying by super quick. Another reason, excuse me, another reason why I like to go fast forward and show you everything is to give you the most, like I said, give you the most visibility of what I do through an entire CHIMPS mode game. But also to try to cut down on some time at least, because if I was to play this in regular speed, we would definitely be over, you know, the 30, I would even say maybe closer to 40-minute mark to completely go through one of these, even though having auto start on, because that's what I do. If you'll notice, it just kind of continually flows, so that's why. So here with these DDTs, let's see how we hold up with our Prince of Darkness. And we did really well right there. I'm really happy with this. This setup rocks. Now this may not work for other tracks, like I said, or other maps. So you kind of just have to mess with it. If you kind of know how these towers work, like for example the Prince of Darkness, with the things that I've explained earlier in this video, you'll almost know like right away once you start a map, okay, this tower or this tower or this tower is not going to work here because of A, B, C, or D. So you already know like what you're not going to use. There are some that generically work for probably most maps, but maybe not for all. So Ezeli's on level 18. And trying to get her to 20. Let's see if we can make it. I try not to spend all the money on her to get her leveled up, but we'll see what we do here. Not quite sure if I'm going to want to spend that or not. Well, let's see. That was pretty close. Those fortified Moabs got really close to that, kind of that last straightaway where we have visibility and range. So that was cutting it pretty close. I'm going to slow it down right here and just kind of make sure that we're going to be good, because that last round was really pushing it. I'm going to actually add a Ice Monkey here, even though this might be overkill. We're going to go bottom tier, max that out, and middle tier. So you're going to get Icicle Impale, which freezes Moabs. So you can see that was a tremendous help right there. And this will help with these fortified ones right here. And then we're gonna see how this last round works. See, I don't have enough to purchase Zelia up to level 20, so you won't get to see that activated ability this time, but it does actually tear through a BAD pretty quick. So if you can get her up to level 20, works really good. I'm going to change this monkey sub-targeting to first, just to try to help break this down a little bit quicker, because doing the Bloontonium doesn't really have much effect on it. So leave it on first, and you can see we're running out of, we probably ran out of balloons on Prince of Darkness, so this is where it's going to get kind of hairy. So let's slow this back down, and then we're going to pretty quickly, I think, switch over to Submerge once this guy pops, because then our Ice Monkey will really be able to stop the other balloons or the other Moabs. So here's Zelia at work again. Okay. So we got that going. Now we're freezing them. We got a little bit of the unpopped coming back through now that Prince of Darkness is working and popping a little bit. And we just whipped through it. So we got a glue gunner. There you go, guys. There is that Cubism map completed on Chimps mode. And again, I'd like to just say thanks again for watching. Here pretty soon I'm going to release another video, so stay tuned. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave me a comment, like the video, share it with a friend, and we will see you next time on BloonSharkTV.